The Three-State Solution. Third Temple Movement. A Kafing Jew's reflection on the genesis of Israeli-Arabs conflict and Germany's moral imperative. Dear reader, I am Josh, a Kafing Jew. My life narrative is woven with rich historical threads, journeying from the heartland of the Middle East to the ancient silk routes of Kafing. In Europe, the chilling echoes of anti-Semitism, which crescendoed in the Holocaust where 6 million Jews were murdered by Nazi Germany. This dark epic triggered a mass exodus of my Jewish compatriots from the hostile terrains of Europe to the ancestral lands of Israel. While this quest for sanctuary was a flight from persecution, it unwittingly marked the beginning of a new narrative of displacement for the Arabs in Gaza, thereby sowing the seeds of the Israeli-Arab conflict. Amidst this historical and geopolitical maze, emerges the narrative of the three-state solution, introducing a unique proposition that places Germany at the heart of a potential resolution. The discourse pivots towards Germany, advocating for a moral obligation rooted in historical atonement. The proposition is profound yet straightforward. By welcoming refugees from Gaza, Germany could demonstrate a sincere commitment to redressing the historical wrongs that indirectly exacerbated the plight of the Arabs in Gaza. This proposition extends beyond a call for humanitarian grace. It invites Germany to play a crucial role in rewriting the narrative, potentially fostering a climate of peace and reconciliation. It underscores the moral imperative that if Germany sincerely supports Israel, it should contribute to alleviating the conflict by providing refuge to the Arabs in Gaza, creating a conducive environment for peace. Simultaneously, the aspirations of the Third Temple movement resonate with the spiritual core of my Jewish identity. The vision of reconstructing the Third Temple on the sacred grounds of the Temple Mount promises a spiritual renaissance and a return to biblical roots. However, this aspiration is tangled in the religious and political discord surrounding the Temple Mount, a site revered by both Jews and Muslims. In a re-envisioned scenario where Germany embraces its moral obligation, the dynamics of the Israeli-Arab conflict could potentially shift, paving the way for the peaceful realization of the Third Temple movement's aspirations. This narrative transcends mere rhetoric. It urges tangible actions reflecting sincerity and collective efforts towards peaceful coexistence. In essence, this reflection explores the intertwined narratives of the three-state solution, the Third Temple movement, and Germany's moral duty, investigating the potential for a harmonious pathway to heal ancient wounds and foster hope for a peaceful, prosperous coexistence in the Holy Land. Through the lens of historical responsibility, this proposition envisions a narrative of hope, reconciliation, and a renewed spiritual journey towards a harmonious horizon. Shalom. Josh. Email, kafingjosh@proton.me. Q&A. Q. I admire your willingness to share your views in a public forum. With that said, your paper strikes me as alarming. Does rebuilding a third temple entail harming Al-Aqsa or the Dome of the Rock? If so, how do you justify the destruction of cultural and religious sites protected by UNESCO and valued by billions of people? And how would that happen without inciting unimaginable violence? A. When the Al-Aqsa Mosque and the Dome of the Rock were built, were our structures destroyed as well? To be honest, while these two sites are notable, they are not as significant as the Third Temple. Arabs are skilled negotiators, focusing on Jerusalem and the Third Temple, which are central to Judaism. Often, these sites are used as leverage to gain more bargaining power. However, these sites are not as crucial to Muslims as Mecca. And I believe technically it's possible to relocate these two buildings without damaging their structures. For Muslims, the location is not as significant as the structure itself, whereas for us, the location holds more importance. Q. Second, you seem to be suggesting ethnic cleansing of Gaza residents and moving them to Germany, a country already struggling with integrating Arab refugees and not willing to take more. How does that not make the cause of Palestinian self-determination, alongside Jewish self-determination, even harder to achieve? A. If you prefer, you may refer to it as ethnic cleansing, but I choose to see it as a method to prevent a potential massive death. It's always a challenging decision to make, but I firmly believe that the value of human lives outweighs the importance of their geographical location. And certainly, the German government may not desire to accommodate these refugees, but I believe there is a moral obligation to assist until such point, for example, 6 million at most. Q. What's your support for the idea that Muslims don't think the location is significant? My understanding is they believe it is the site where Muhammad ascended to heaven on his night journey, and that's the same rock believed by Jews to be the foundation stone. A. In Torah, Jerusalem is often referred to as the place that God have chosen. In the Quran, it's commonly understood to be referred to as the farthest mosque. So the important difference is obvious. Q. Wouldn't the better solution to remove the current coalition and not have genocide or ethnic cleansing? A. You could try to convince Netanyahu and Hamas, but I believe it would be much easier to convince Germany. Q. Why is it the German government? They did nothing to Arabs. A. Vicarious liability. Q. The Holocaust isn't the direct cause of the formation of the State of Israel. It's a contributing factor, to be sure, but Zionism was well underway and moving towards its goal before the Nazi regime. Moreover, the majority of Israel's Jewish population is descended from Mizrahi refugees from Arab countries. They are much more directly responsible for the makeup of Israel's population, which is not majority Ashkenazi. A Jewish community is in a hole. Q. And again, why should a people be removed from their home and forced into a land and culture they have no connection to? When Germans in other countries were forcibly resettled after World War II, they were forced back to Germany, where they could integrate. No one should be forced out of their home, yet in some situations, individuals face extreme threats such as violence or death if they choose to stay. It's a heart-wrenching decision to make, but when it comes down to choosing between life and death, I would personally opt for relocating. And it's not that bad when considering it's the move from Gaza to Germany.